It's the middle of April, and Chad Baker is where he usually is, on the road. The co-owner of Baker Precision Planter Works in Orangeville, Illinois, heads 25 miles west to the town of Warren, where first-generation no-tiller Andy Beyer wants to make sure his planter is good to go.
Was there anything out of whack or anything that you were concerned about?
Just something, I just wanted another eye, I guess, see if there's something that I missed.
At first glance, everything seems fine, but Andy still has some questions.
Are my rows, my point rows, or my shutoffs correct?
Should be. When it gets done running the test, I'll check that again.
I switched it from beans to corn for half row to...
Oh, okay. Just coming thin, going through it, checking things over. We're going to take it out and put some seed in the ground so we can check the downforce, and then check the clutch timing and everything is what we're doing right now. It's tremendous when you can get all the little things, check all them bugs and find, a lot of it's just making sure all the planters get hooked up correctly. Making sure that, they hooked them up right and everything's working and nothing, through the winter got, pinched or smashed or something, or mice or rodents, So it's very helpful.
Chad and Andy work out the gremlins in a neighboring field.
Everything's working. Right?
Yeah, your 15's working as it should, just the ground's so tight.
Some applications tight is good.
Yeah.
This one
not so much.
Everything checks out. Andy's planter is ready to roll. And before saying goodbye, Chad leaves him with a couple parting gifts.
Well, don't video this yet because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Okay. So that's what they're meant for. They're supposed to, you can lock up your closer and now you can run a pass and check your seed depth.
Check another name off the customer preseason checkup list, and it's down the road to Brinkmeyer Farms, where Chad's customer Don, a strip tiller, has his hands full with a new 24-row high-speed planter.
They are doing a dual liquid high-speed planter, so we've got in-furrow plus 2x2 pumps on it. We got V-Apply HDs on every row, and we're going to go through, pre-trip it, calibrate the liquids, both liquids, get everything working, check for leaks. Basically just get them ready to go so that way next week they got the confidence, I guess, to put it in the ground and put it to work. So, but if time will allow it, we'll come back next week or whenever they start and try and help them start it that day if we have time. It's a big project.
Big project indeed. Almost immediately, Don and Chad find a hole in one of his hoses. So they call in some backup. Chad's dad, Mark Baker, co-owner of the dealership.
Well, we're putting a splice in this planter. He wore a hole right there through the hose, you can see. And by doing that, we can save him a lot of time and a lot of labor because this thing goes through to the end and goes all the way up through. So all I'm gonna have to do is just cut this, splice it with the hose maker, voila, and he's on his way. So it's about time for the customer, really. So this portable unit really makes it all better.
While Mark fixes one problem, Chad discovers an even bigger one. The starter fertilizer pump's not working.
So the only thing I can come up with is what I think is the issue is I think that brown adapter is bad. I'm speculating that with the Preseason system, it'll run 4 liquids, but the first liquid harness is black, and then as you jump up to 2, 3, and 4, they change colors because they put different resistors in the plugs, and that gives the system, it knows that it's a different plug. And I think the one on the planter's bad, and I don't have another one. And their plugs are male-female, and I only have male-male, so I'm just making a short jumper harness.
And so were you anticipating to spend this much time on this planter? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's new to them and we don't know anything about it, so I figured there was going to be some gremlins somewhere in it. For all we know, this planter's sat for 2 seasons and hasn't done a thing. We don't know.
So this thing you're building here, this could solve the big issue you're looking at right now.
I hope so. I think so. Maybe not, but I don't know. Maybe I'm building it just for the fun of it, I guess.
Unfortunately, that seems to be the case, as the problem remains a mystery into lunch. But after some pizza, it's back to work. and Don is confident it's only a matter of time until Chad gets to the bottom of it.
The support I get from him is it's hard to not have somebody like him. Anytime you call him, he can talk you through it on the phone, or anytime he's here, he can just figure any problem I got out, and he's very good at it. Just worth the time having him around, and he's good at it. He's better than he knows.
Don knows what he's talking about. Chad MacGyvers his way to a solution and eventually gets the pump to work.
The starter pump wasn't working, so I swapped the valves, and that didn't work. And honestly, all I did was swap the harnesses between the rate control modules, and it brought it to life, and I plugged the other one back into the other one, and I haven't checked it yet, but I think that one's working. So I don't know if it was just a sticky valve and it got finally opened up. I guess that's the only thing I can think of, I guess. So
Crisis averted.
I think so.
With this planter, it's your first year using it, so how much more important is it with this planter to have someone that you trust and to get all the kinks worked out? A lot more. I wouldn't even went this route if I didn't have Chad around for doing the support on it. I wouldn't even thought about it. Just that's how much trust I have in him.